Today's lesson is about specialization. So what is the meaning of specialization? Specialization, this is where countries, countries or people or firms, they concentrate on producing the things that they are best at. But specialization is a general term. It could be countries that are specializing. It could be workers specializing. It could be firms specializing. And now we are concerned with countries specializing and labor specializing. The countries usually concentrate on producing the things that they are best at making, which are in high global demand. يعني for example, a country like India, it is well known and specialized in the area of software technology. يبقى software systems, software technology, computers and things of the like. India is one of the most specialized countries in that. Germany, for example, it is known for برضه technology machines. More of industrial machines are being produced in Germany. Okay, Saudi Arabia, for example, is specialized in the extraction of oil. And countries will specialize in the thing that they are best at. And then what will they do? Instead of consuming all the produce that they are using, they will be doing international trade. يبقى what the country is specialized at will be influenced by the quantity and quality of their resources. يبقى why Saudi Arabia will be specialized in the extraction of petroleum لأن Saudi Arabia is rich in that resource. Why Germany is ولا India are concentrating on مثلا India, why it's concentrating on IT technology لأن the workers are well educated in that area. طيب advantages for consumers of specializing at a national level. يعني if your country is specializing in the production of a certain good or a certain service, what are the points بقى related to the consumers? Advantages and disadvantages for the consumers. Higher output can be produced. So if there is higher output, يعني we can enjoy goods and services. The products are widely available. But then we are having a higher living standard. هنا material wealth. يبقى material wealth is one way in which I can calculate the living standard of people or determining the living standard of people. قصدي ايه material wealth؟ قصدي انه what can you possess? What can the average person possess own of مثلا things like of items like computers, cars and so on. يبقى the more the output of goods and services, the more the availability of these, so the consumers will be able to have these, to own these. The living standard will increase. Besides, if there is a higher output على طول is related to what يا شباب? Output is related as well to incomes. If there are higher output, then people are in jobs, so they are having higher incomes. If they are having higher incomes, then they can afford to buy goods and services, and their living standard will increase. This is how you analyze for the exam. Right. If we are specializing in a certain product, then we can produce a better quality than other countries. يبقى specialized, we are specialized in the production of cars. فهنا better quality cars that are durable, that are reliable, they do not break down very often. فهنا in this situation better quality of products. This allows the firms to develop better skills. أو يعني هنا why we are producing better quality لأن عندنا better skilled workers, better technology that is specialized as well, and we are concentrating on one thing, فless likely that we will be making mistakes. افتحوا الكاميراز يا شباب. ما احنا قافلين الكاميراز يعني بنلعب، وبصراحة ريفلكتنج على الريزلتس بتاعتكم، وريفلكتنج على الهوم ورك اللي ما بيتعملش، وريفلكتنج على وربنا يستر على الجريدز بتاعتنا. فافتحوا الكاميراز لو سمحتوا اتليست اعرف ان انتوا موجودين في الحصه. سامعني يا عمر؟ سامعني يا علي؟
أنا مش سامع حضرتك.
انا قلت افتح الكاميرا يا حبيبي. يلا يا علي. Consumers may get lower priced products لأن احنا we are specialized. If we are specialized, then we are producing that in a large quantity. We are not wasting resources. So we can produce that in a large quantity. فهنا in this situation, a large quantity and في high supply, then in this situation, prices will go down. This is one thing. Besides, we are specialized. We can produce on a larger scale, then we can benefit from economies of scale. Technical economies of scale, managerial, marketing, whatever. Economies of scale will lead to a lower average cost. Accordingly, the producers can pass this advantage to consumers by charging lower prices. تمام؟ يبقى consumers can get lower priced products as the firms benefit from economies of scale. These are the factors that will reduce the average cost. If average costs are reduced, then the prices can be reduced. Then the businesses can charge lower prices to consumers. طبعا احنا consumers will benefit because we're saving money. This money we can use it in other things. انا دقيقتين وابتدي اخرج الناس من الحصه فمحدش بقى ايه يزعل لما يخرج من الحصه. Disadvantages of specialization for the consumers. Okay. Okay. Higher prices as one country or a small number of countries may be in control of most of the global market for a product and may use it to their power to restrict supply and raise prices. يبقى هنا higher prices is أنا I will act ethically وإذا في هنا sorry lower prices if I am acting ethically and we في competition. هنا بقى higher prices ليه higher prices of that specialization turns to be a monopoly. A country that is acting as a monopoly or a group of countries that are acting as oligopoly. Oligopoly يعني هم they are countries that are controlling the supply of a certain product. Like what? Like oil. Oil is oil is supplied by a few countries and they are acting as an oligopoly. يعني they collaborate together in order to charge same prices. Okay? فمثلا عندك كويت, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, they have a lot of oil reserves and they are controlling world supply of oil. They are then capable of colluding together. Colluding يعني they do agreements together to set the similar prices and these prices are set very high. فهنا consumers may get certain types of products expensive if that specialization led to a monopoly. طيب, foreign specialists may not follow the same health and safety standards as in their home country, so may harm the consumers. Okay, if a country is specializing and they are specializing and doing international trade actually. If the countries are specializing and doing international trades, certain countries may specialize in the production of certain items and that when that is imported, this will harm the health of consumers. طيب, problems like natural disaster happening in the specialized country may mean that the products are unavailable at least for some time. Unavailable for consumers for some time. A natural disaster, factories are destroyed in that country that is specializing in that item. فهنا in this situation, supply will be reduced. Questions يا شباب؟ طيب, advantages and disadvantages for firms. And these are the advantages of consumers. These now the advantages for firms. Okay. Omar, Adil, and Ali, open your cameras. Advantages and disadvantages for the firms is that for the firms they will benefit from economies of scale. فهنا economies of scale, which means what? Which means that again we said I am producing at a large scale. If I am producing at a large scale, then in this situation I will benefit from certain factors like purchasing economies, technical economies, and so on. This will reduce my average cost. Now I will say that I will charge lower prices. لا أنا مش هقول كده. لان انا بدور على البنفيت فور مين؟ فور ذا فيرم. فهنا they will be reducing their average cost. Okay, then their profit margins can increase. Okay, they keep the prices the same, cost is reduced, then they are getting greater profit margins. طبعا this will satisfy me the investors. They may even invest more. طيب, may get high quality raw materials at a low cost as firms may buy supplies from specialist suppliers. فهنا بيتكلم على purchasing economies only. You are getting high quality at a low cost. يبقى هنا purchasing economies ان انا عندي low cost بس كمان I can get a high quality لان يحصل cooperation بيني وبين السبلاير, so he will provide me with high quality. He will cooperate in order to have my business successful. And the success of my business means that there is a success, that the supplier himself will be successful. The more I am expanding and producing, then the more I'm expanding and producing more, then the more the supplier will be profitable. Okay? طيب. Then this is another thing is that you can benefit from getting raw materials from suppliers at a cheaper and better quality. طب if you are engaged in international trade وعندك a lower average cost, then your prices in the international market may be cheaper. Okay, فهنا in this situation your prices are cheaper, your quality is higher, so in this situation you will win over competitors. You can sell more in the international markets. يبقى engaging in international trade can help firms in the exchange of new management ideas, information about new products and new product technology. This is another story. Specialization at national level. International trade. If you are engaged in international trade, يعني if you are still marketing your products abroad, you can trade can help firms in exchange of new management ideas, information about the new products and new technology, and you get information that will help you in becoming more and more specialized or improving your services further. طب ال disadvantages of specialization at a national level يبقى firms may become more dependent on other countries for their markets. هنا this is by mistake. هنا المفروض دي تبقى advantages and disadvantages of specialization at an international level. You write, you do this in the notes. You improve this in the notes. This one has got to be fixed. لأن firms may become more dependent on other countries for the markets of the products they produce and for source of their raw materials. هنا this is if I am exporting. يبقى I'm specializing وكمان exporting my products. يبقى I specialize and export my products. قلنا I am exporting my products and I can sell well. هنا I can sell well in the international market لأن the products بتاعتي are cheaper and they are of better quality. I can sell well in the international markets. بس في مشكلة. If I am, this may lead ان انا my business will be too dependent على ال international markets. يعني if there is a recession in the other country, my business will be not selling well. If there is a trade restriction in the other country, then I won't be able to sell well. يبقى I'm exporting my country overseas. Okay, I'm importing my products, exporting my products overseas, selling my products in another country. This is an Egyptian product that will be sold in an African country. If there is a recession in that African country, then the Egyptian product will not sell well. If the African country is restricting imports of raw materials أو عاملين restriction على الimports, then I will not be able to sell well. طيب, they can be adversely affected by events in those countries. Firms could experience a fall in demand if taste changed. You are specialized in only one product. You're not diversified. You're not producing a variety of products. You are specialized in one product. The demand on that product fell. Consumers' taste changed and demand fell. Then in this situation, what will happen? In this situation, your firm will not be successful. Okay, يبقى if demand fell on that product, consumers' taste changed, and firms in the other countries become more efficient at producing the product or its substitutes. ممكن يكون another thing is that إنه in the other country that I am exporting to, their local firms became better than mine, are producing now better quality or cheaper prices. يعني for example, Egypt used to مثلا to export cotton garments abroad. Now demand fell on that kind of thing, and people, they don't want cotton garments, they want a different fabric, okay, different quality. This is one thing. فهنا I will not be able to sell well, I will fail. Another thing is that let's imagine that another country, let's imagine we were exporting to India. Now the Indian cotton is very good, and it's cheaper than the Egyptian cotton. When in this situation, we used to export to India, now we cannot export to them anymore because of them developing in that area. فهنا I will not be able to sell well and I will not be successful. My firm will not be successful. يبقى تاني, specialization, how it's important for the consumers. يبقى this is one aspect, how specialization is important for consumers. الناس اللي داخلين متأخر. This is if firms are specializing, then in this situation, higher output will be there, greater living standard, better quality of products, lower prices, as firms are benefiting from economies of scale. However, monopolies may arise, فيبقى في higher prices. ممكن foreign, if we are relying على imported products from abroad, يبقى foreign products will be harmful to us because they are produced using different standards that are harmful. When a problems may happen if there is a natural disaster in the other country. Okay. Which means that the products are unavailable at least for some time. تاني, advantages and disadvantages of specialization at هي مفروض national level, بس هي فيها aspects of international. هنا national level and economies of scale. Economies of scale for firms are having a higher profit margins, better quality of raw materials because you are dealing with the supplier who will support you. If you are doing international, if you specialize in your local country and you start to trade, هنا بقى بتكلم على specialization in international trade. You start to trade internationally, then you will get new ideas and you will get to know about new products that will help you improve your performance. You will get new management ideas which will help you manage your business more efficiently. However, if you are doing international trade, you will be too dependent on the state of the economy in the other country. If they're having recession, if they're having improvement in their local businesses, فهنا you will not be able to sell there anymore. طيب. Advantages and disadvantages for the economy of specializing at a national level. You are specializing at a national level. International specialization advantages: international specialization and trade increases efficiency and economic welfare. You are specialized, selling your products abroad. فهنا in this situation, your efficiency will increase. Why? Because you want to become, this is a motive for you. You want to be as efficient as possible, okay, so that you can be charging lower prices, so you remain competitive. فهنا you, in order to remain competitive, you want to charge lower prices عشان تبقى competitive, عشان to sell to win over competition, you have to be charging a lower price. How can you charge a lower price if you are wasting resources? Then you'll be encouraged in it not to waste resources, so that your prices are controlled, so that you will be internationally competitive. But this is one benefit of specialization. Countries' GDP should be relatively high. The gross domestic product, the value of goods and services produced in a country on a period of time, should be relatively high. يبقى the more the output, then the higher the GDP would be. فهنا in this situation, its output would be higher than if it used in its resources to produce products that they are not suited to. يعني country may not be suited to produce a certain type of product. Let's imagine مثلا all the Middle East countries, they are not suited to produce tropical crops. The land is not suited to that. The weather is not suited to that. So it will take you a lot if you insist in your home country, which is in the Middle East, you insist to grow pineapples, to grow passion fruit, to grow to grow coconuts. And in this situation, you will be wasting a lot of resources to reclaim the land, to prepare the land, to produce such kinds of items. Your land, your climate is not suited. And you have to reclaim the land and to provide artificial environment for that. طب why? Why? Don't do that. Specialize in the thing that your land is suited at and import these products from other countries. You specialize in the products that you are best at, sell them internationally, get money, use that money to pay for items that you cannot produce in your home country, or you will be producing them more expensive than in other countries. Is this point clear?
Yes.
And in this situation, your real GDP, which is what is the total value of goods and services after adjusting it to inflation. Real GDP يعني volume. يعني I'm talking about فعلا إنه في a greater volume of goods and services produced in the country. Volume يعني number of services and goods are increased. Okay? مش real GDP. مش GDP would be affected by inflation. يعني if the country shows or the result of the GDP is that احنا عندنا what is worth $100 million worth of products. This is 2022. 2023, they are 150 million worth of products. Okay. This is, I will not take this seriously unless I know, is this the real GDP and adjusted to inflation? This is after taking the effect of inflation. Taking out the effect of the inflation ولا دي with the effect of inflation. And if inflation is 50% in my country, then my GDP did not increase. Let's imagine that the inflation level is 50%. وانا كنت producing 100 بقيت producing what is worth 150. يبقى هنا in this situation what happened is that the prices increased only. I did not produce more quantity. The prices increased only. لكن لقيت ان الانفليشن is 10% only. 10% وهنا بتقولي 150 يعني الامبروفمنت is 150 is 50%. يبقى هنا في حصل real increase in economic growth. حصل فعلا more output being produced لان الانفليشن level اللي هي 10% is lower than the increase in output in that country. يبقى ايه advantage of specializing? A country's real GDP will be relatively high. They will be able to produce more goods. علي كتبت لك على الشات حاجات وقلت لك على حاجات اكتر من مرة. It is output would be higher than if it is used. If the country used its resources to produce products, the resources are not best suited to making. يبقى هنا I will concentrate on the things that I can produce. My resources, land, labor, capital, enterprise are my land, labor, capital, enterprise are suited at. يبقى هنا I will be producing the things that my land, labor, capital, enterprise are suited at and can produce in good quantities. And I will not produce things that we are not suited at. that the resources are not capable of doing that, and then we will be doing international trade. مين عمر اللي دخل حصة دلوقتي؟ is that عمر وليد ولا عمر عادل؟
عمر عاطل ماشي.
Okay. Combined with international trade, specialization can allow an economy to consume outside its production possibility curve. هنشوف ده كمان شوية. يبقى combined with international trade, if you are specializing and you are doing international trade, you can enjoy more goods and services than you can produce. Okay? ليه؟ لأن part of it will be coming from other countries. This one, I will explain it in a minute with the graph. If an economy specializes on the basis of quality and quantity of its resources, this should mean that the resources will not be left idle. And you are making the best use of your resources. You're making the best use of your resources if you are specializing. None of the resources will be wasted. None of the resources will be kept idle. For this will lead to greater efficiency. يبقى specialization is based on efficiency, which keeps inflation rate relatively low. يبقى the more efficient you are, the more you are controlling your cost. And when you are controlling your cost, you can keep the prices low. The economy will be producing at a relatively low cost and may have opportunity to improve to import from countries that are efficient at what they are producing. يبقى هنا we will start to become efficient if we are doing international trade, because if we're not efficient, we will not win in that competition. We are competing internationally. If we will not win in that competition. Besides, the economy will be producing at relatively low cost. خلاص. وكمان يعني عايزة أقول هنا it's a win-win situation. My country will be getting the products which we cannot produce, or which we can produce in an expensive way, in more expensive cost than other countries. Other countries will be specializing برضو, and they will get, يعني let's say product A or product B. I have a competitive advantage in product A. I can produce it cheaper than other countries with better quality. حلو. This is هنا country X وهنا country Y ودوت product A وproduct B. يبقى country X is specialized in product A, country Y is specialized in product B. Both of them can be producing X can be producing a product A cheaper and better quality, country Y can produce product B cheaper and better quality. يبقى هنا we are not, country X cannot produce B as good as country Y. طب نعمل ايه؟ International trade, swap. يعني هنا produce A, then you will be producing very large quantity. The excess, sell them to country Y. هنا specialize in product B, produce it in large quantities. The excess you sell it in country X. So in country X, product B will be sold cheaper than if they would have produced. In country Y, product A will be sold cheaper than if they would have produced. Clear? Country X is specialized in production of bananas. Country Y is specialized in production of apples. Each will concentrate in the things that they are best at. Bananas will be exported to the other country at a cheaper price than if the other country would have produced it. Where apples would be produced to the other one that is not specialized in a cheaper price than would have been produced by that country. يبقى هنا it's a win-win situation. I will get my country, but I will get both products at the lowest possible price and with the best quality possible. طب specialization may enable an economy to build up reputation. زي India is building up the reputation in producing a particular product. It attracts more sales and ancillary industries to set up in the country, and these are support services which will boost sales of exports. يبقى هنا in this situation we are specializing in one thing that will bring good reputation and thus attract sales, and support systems will be there. The disadvantages of specialization بقى, it will be difficult to determine what economy is best suited at. يعني how do I determine انه my resources are best suited at what kind of product. ما انا عايزه اشوف resources بتاعتي are best suited and we are producing that better than other countries. Yeah, I want to see a product that I can specialize at and I can produce it better than other countries عشان اعرف اعمل international trade. But this information could be hard. If demand suddenly falls or cost rises, demand on my product suddenly specializing. I am specializing. I am not doing diversification. I'm not having a couple of products. If one product failed, then there are other products that will lead to my success. لا, I am specialized. One product. Then in this situation, if demand for that product fell suddenly, this will be a problem. The country will not be able to export that product. Less revenue will be earned. Costs rise. If costs rise, then we will lose our competitiveness. The country can run into difficulties like structural unemployment if labor is geographically and occupationally immobile. If the cost is rising, this is one thing, and we will be losing our competitiveness, and the country can run into difficulties is عندي structural unemployment. Producing a wide range of products would spread risks. This is an advantage actually. يبقى هنا would spread the risks. If one product is failing, other products will counterbalance that failure. Other products are still successful and counterbalance that failure. Transport cost may offset any advantages on the country, any production advantages. And let's imagine that I am producing a machine. This machine is produced in Germany. It has got to be exported to other countries. The transport cost would be very expensive, so the cost savings in the price of the machine will be paid as transport cost. Clear? يعني you may be saving the cost of the machine itself is less, or the cost of the product is less, price of the product is cheaper, but the transport cost is very expensive. Then in this situation, خلاص, you're not benefiting from socialization. It might be more efficient of the country to produce products rather than import them if the transport cost is high. Okay. طيب نرجع تاني هنا الادفانتج انه combined with international trade they can consume outside their production possibility curve. Let's take هنا an example of that. This is your production possibility curve if you are not specializing. فهنا what is that? You have land, labor, capital, enterprise, and this is you are operating at that curve. You're operating at that curve where you can either produce 200 tractors with the land, labor, capital, enterprise you have. You can produce 200 tractors but 0 cars, or you can produce 500 cars but 0 tractors, or you can produce any quantity that is in between. حلو؟ Clear? If I am having, this is my production possibility curve, okay, I am fully utilizing my resources. I can either produce 200 tractors only, or 500 cars only, or a combination, or produce هنا at that quantity, or هنا أو كذا. But let's imagine that this country decided to produce to operate at the point X, which is 250 cars and 100 tractors. Okay, but 250 cars and 250 cars and 100 tractors. طيب يبقى هنا to produce one tractor, what is your opportunity cost of cars? If I want to produce one tractor, how many cars do I give up? One tractor is equal to how many cars? If I am producing one tractor يا جماعة, ما أنا I'm producing 200 tractors. or 500 cars. طيب if I am producing one tractor يعني هنا it's 200 tractors, the opportunity cost is 500 cars. طب one tractor, what is the opportunity cost of one tractor? 25 ولا 2.5؟
25.
ليه؟ ده math يا جماعة، مش معقولة. I am producing 200 tractors, then I forgo 500 cars. If I am بقى producing one tractor, how many cars do I forgo? 500 divided by هي في البتاع كان 200. اوكي 200 هتديني قد ايه؟ It's gonna give me 2.5. يبقى opportunity cost one tractor will have to forgo 2.5 cars. واضحة ولا مش واضحة؟ ده math. طيب اوكي this is my opportunity cost. يبقى انا الاوبشنز اللي عندي ايه على production possibility curve اللي انتوا شايفينه؟ الاوبشنز اللي عندي على production possibility curve اما to use all the resources بتاعتي اهي تاني، هنا tractors وهنا cars، اما to use all my resources بتاعتي to produce 200 tractors. خلاص zero cars، يبقى كل الريسورس بتاعتي اما produce 200، او العكس اما كل الريسورس بتاعتي 500 cars zero tractors، او a point that is in between، او هنا مثلا او هنا او whatever. خلاص for if I am producing tractors then I have to forgo cars, and the opposite is true. The more cars then I have to forgo tractors. فهنا economy decided او the economists decided in point X would do us fine. احنا we want to operate at point X where we are producing 250 cars. We want to consume 250 cars and 100 tractors. But this is what will do our economy fine. طب now the economy is specializing. And this economy is better suited to the production of tractors. يبقى أنا عندي land labor capital that are better suited to produce tractors. حلو؟ يبقى هنا I am better suited to produce tractors, then let me concentrate on the production of tractors. What will I produce? I will produce 200 tractors. طب what about the cars? Zero cars. I can produce either 200 tractors or 500 cars or a point in between. I decided to specialize. What will I do then? I will be producing 200 tractors and zero cars. طب يا مس بس هما they are needing cars. I will then sell the tractors, and from the money abroad, I sell the tractors internationally. And from the money that I get from sale of tractors, I will buy the cars. I'm not producing cars, but the economy is in need of cars. I will sell one tractor to get how many cars? To get 4 cars. If I sell one tractor, I will get 4 cars instead. هنا هوت if I produce one tractor, okay, I will have to forgo 2.5 cars. Or let's imagine I sell one tractor or get 2.5 cars. هنا I will sell one tractor or get 4 cars. طيب البرودكشن possibility curve بتاعي هيكون عامل ازاي؟ It's either البرودكشن possibility curve او الريشيو هتكون 1 to 4. الريشيو 1 tractor, I will sell one tractor to get 4 cars. طيب if I'm selling 200 tractors هجيب كام كار؟ If I'm selling 200 tractors هيبقى 800 cars. صح؟ Now the production possibility curve will be this line. اللي هي after I specialize, I either produce 200 tractors, sell them in order to get 800 cars, or produce this amount and get fewer cars, more tractors هنا produce هنا، خليك عن ال production possibility هنا، فهنا get the 130 cars مثلا 130 tractors and less cars، or خليك هنا or هنا whatever. The production possibility curve will change. يبقى الأول كان عندك ال ratio of 1 tractor to 2.5 cars، هنا عندك ال ratio of 1 tractor to 8 cars if you are specializing. One tractor to 8 cars. فالproduction possibility curve بتاعي is like become like this. طيب if I decided to operate here, then what is the situation? I will be consuming 280 cars and 130 tractors. But I'm consuming 280 cars and 130 tractors. I'm consuming more of the two things. طيب يا miss, are you producing the cars? I'm not producing them. I'm importing them. يبقى أنا specializing on one product in the production of one product will mean that I am capable of enjoying a number of output that is higher than my production possibility curve. Production possibility curve يبقى أنا I can consume an output that is greater than the production possibility curve. هنا هوت in the previous situation, our production possibility curve, the previous one, if I am producing 200 tractors, I would have, if I am consuming, I would have consumed 100 cars. Now, if I am consuming 280, I am to consume 130 cars. So 280 and 130 cars is the new production possibility curve. مش فاهمين حاجة صح؟ تاني. عندي with specialization and without specialization. Without specialization, this is the production possibility curve. إما 200 tractors أو 500 cars. Land, labor, capital, enterprise either produce 500 cars إما produce 200 tractors. خلاص, this is the, or produce something that is in between. Or produce any combination that is in between. Is that concept clear? المفروض ان ده يعني من chapter 4.
Yes, miss.
Okay, and the economy was operating at that point where they are producing 100 tractors. وكان هنا 250 cars. This is my current level of consumption. طيب, now if I am specializing, this consumption level will be changed. Why consumption level will be changed? تاني هرسم هنا نفس الجراف. هنا tractors وهنا cars. My consumption level current is our production possibility curve current is that producing 200 tractors or producing 500 cars. حلو؟ طيب احنا where are we operating? We are operating عند البوينت دي 250 cars 100 tractors. تمام؟ Now I am telling you that the country is specializing. خلاص احنا we will no longer keep on producing the two items. We will be specializing. ندور إنه our resources are best suited to produce tractors ولا are best suited to produce cars. Our land, labor, and capital enterprise are more productive if we produce tractors ولا cars. The economists find out that they are better in the production of tractors. So the economists, they decided that we will produce the maximum level of output. We are going to produce tractors. حلو? So this is what we will be doing. We are producing 200 tractors. Our land, labor, capital enterprise, the maximum I can produce is 200 tractors. طيب, in this situation, and I don't want in my economy, احنا محتاجين بس 100 tractors. احنا محتاجين to consume 100 tractors only in my economy. So what do? I will sell the excess 100 tractors. يبقى هنا you are producing 200 tractors. You need only 100 in your home economy. Okay, the rest you can sell it abroad. You can, we are specializing the excess, sell it abroad. One tractor could be sold to bring me 4 cars. Okay, it's either 1 tractor or 4 cars. يبقى هنا هنا the opportunity cost is 4. هنا ال opportunity in the previous example ال opportunity cost هنا 2.5. Opportunity cost of reducing 1 tractor is 2.5 cars. هنا opportunity cost of producing 1 tractor is 800 cars. Why 800 cars? Because we are specialized. فهنا we are specializing and we are selling the rest. We are selling the rest. فهنا in this situation, if you consume all your produce, you consume all the tractors, then you get 0 cars. Or sell all your tractors, you get 800 cars. Maybe I will produce 200 tractors and sell them all. So in order to get 800 cars. Or decide in انت to consume at a point on the production possibility curve. If I decided to keep on consuming 200 tractors and sell the rest, then in this situation 100 tractors, but this will be matching at the cars, this will be matching more cars. تبقى 400 cars يمكن. Okay? Or maybe I will operate هنا عند 280 cars and 130 tractors. 280 cars, 130 tractors. Is that clear? يبقى if I am specializing, I either produce the tractors كلهم, I produce the tractors كلهم and sell all. Sell all. So in return, I will get 800 cars. And I produce 200 tractors and sell them all. Then what you, the maximum they can get is 800 cars. اهو حطيته هنا فبقى ال production possibility curve بتاعي بدل ما هو 200 versus 500 cars بقت 200 versus 800 cars. طب منين the rest of the cars? Because I am not going to concentrate on their production. I am going to buy them from a country that is specialized in that. فهنا I can get for 1 tractor I can get to buy more cars instead. فهمتوا حاجة؟ Who doesn't understand? يا عمرو فاهم؟
Yes, I understand.
منا فاهمة؟ منا فاهمة؟ عمر فاهم؟
Yes, miss.
يبقى يا شباب نرجع تاني للإكزامبل بتاعنا. يبقى هنا without international trade I will be either consuming 200 tractors or 500 cars or a combination in between. ده without. With international trade I'll be able to produce 200 cars, okay, 200 tractors, or get مش produce بقى or get 800 cars لأن I'm capable to produce 200 tractors. If I sold them internationally they will get me 800 cars. Okay, so I keep on producing 200 but not necessarily that I want to operate and not necessarily that I will sell them all. I will keep some. So I will consume 130 tractors. I decided to consume 130 tractors and this will allow me برضو to get to 80 cars. For this point Y is still on the production possibility curve, the new one, the expanded one, where the country can enjoy more output of the 2 products. I hope it's clear. But they are producing 200 tractors in this situation and exporting 70. The 70 cars will get them 280. The 70 tractors that are exported will give them 280 cars. Related to that concept, there are 2 other points. Andy, I have to differentiate between absolute advantage related to specialization. I have to distinguish between absolute advantage and comparative advantage. من اسمها كده absolute advantage يعني we are the best at the production of that product. يبقى absolute advantage is producing a product, okay, which you can produce with fewer resources than other countries. But if I am having an absolute advantage, then I am producing the product. افتحوا الكاميرا يا شباب. I'm producing the product with fewer quantity of resources than other countries. Producing it can produce it with fewer. طب هنا let's take let's imagine that land labor capital enterprise in Germany and Brazil are the same. يبقى the resources available in Germany and available in Brazil the same, exactly the same. So now it takes Germany, the Germany can use these resources to produce 200 cars, where our Brazil can use the same resources to produce 100 cars. Germany can produce 1 computer, while Brazil can produce 5 computers. But which one has got the absolute advantage in cars? I am producing the car at fewer resources than other countries. Fewer resources, يعني same land capital enterprise will be allowing you to produce more. You will find that Germany is having what احنا قلنا Germany وبرازيل they are having the same amount of land labor capital enterprise. الريسورسز عندهم بالضبط the same. But then this country is producing more than that country of cars, then this country is the one that is having absolute advantage in the production of cars because it is producing more cars, okay, with the fewer resources. طيب هنا هوت then computers بقى, which country is specialized in computers? You find that this is specialized in computers. Absolute value of computers is Brazil. Clear? طيب
Yes.
يبقى that's the point. If you are producing the product at lower resources, then you have absolute advantage. Some countries they are better in the two products. يعني مثلا let's imagine that I'm talking about Egypt versus Germany. If we are talking about Egypt and Germany and computers and versus cars, you'll find that Germany is better off than Egypt in the production of cars, and Germany is better off in the production of cars, والتانية دي production of computers. Germany will be better off زي بالظبط هنا برازيل وجيرماني. Germany will be better off in both products. مثلا. Then in this situation بقى how can we trade؟ ما احنا before لو كان في absolute advantage I am trading the product that I can produce with better efficiency. طب now I am efficient in the two products. I'm more efficient in the two products. طب هنتريد ازاي؟ إذا كنت أنا أشطر في both. يبقى هنا trade is done based on the comparative advantage مش absolute advantage. يعني إيه بقى؟ If the country is said to have a comparative advantage in producing a product, it can produce it with the lower opportunity cost. يبقى the next best alternative that is minimized, you are producing it with a lower opportunity cost than others. طيب تعالوا نشوف الإكزامبل. هنا Germany is to produce 4 cars or 400 chemicals. Italy is 1 car or 200 chemicals. طب الإيكويشن هنا مش I cannot compare. What do? I cannot compare which one is having a competitive advantage. Then I will be doing this هعمل simplification. يبقى Germany a relationship من 4 ل 400 is the same like 1 ل 100. صح ولا غلط؟ simplify الريشيو 4 ل 400 هو نفسه الريشيو بتاعت 1 ل 100. Am I correct؟
Yes.
Okay. يبقى الريشيو هنا is 1. It's either you produce 100 car or 200, sorry, or 100 chemicals. هنا you are to produce 1 car or 200 chemicals. So now which one has got the lowest opportunity cost in production of cars? Opportunity cost in the production of cars is lower لما أنا produce 1 car and have to forgo 200 ولا produce 1 car and have to forgo 200 chemicals. فين opportunity cost أعلى؟ أو فين opportunity cost أعلى أو فين opportunity cost أقل؟ comparative advantage is that where you're having the lowest opportunity cost. فواضح أهي إن this is the lowest opportunity cost. I produce 1 car I will have to forgo 100 units of chemicals. لكن دوت عنده higher opportunity cost. I produce 1 car I have to forgo 200 units of chemicals. هنا loss is greater. هنا loss is lower. And in this situation, I have a comparative advantage in the production of cars. I can produce مين أنا كان Germany. Germany can produce cars in a lower opportunity cost than Italy. طب تعالوا نشوف the production of chemicals. If I will produce 200 units of chemicals, I will have to forgo one car. هنا if I am to produce 100 chemicals, I have to forgo one car. يبقى هنا 100 I forgo one car, 200 I forgo half a car. هي 200 بدل ما نقول 200 خليها هنا 100. خلي الايكويشن 100. I have to produce 100 units زيها زي اللي فوقها يبقى هنا half a car will have to be taken away. Clear؟ طيب يبقى هنا let Germany concentrate in the production of cars because it is having a comparative advantage هنا و let Italy concentrate in the production of chemicals لأن they are having productivity gains هنا. حلو؟ يبقى let Germany concentrate in the production of cars و Italy concentrate in the production of chemicals لأنه each one can produce it with the lower opportunity cost. يبقى can produce it more efficient than others. مش other country than other products. I can produce that more efficient than the production of other products. ها واصلة ولا مش واصلة؟ Do you understand يا شباب؟
Understood.
Yes, miss.
يبقى though Germany is better off in the production of both products ويا عمر افتح الكاميرا عمر يا عادل though Germany is better off in the production of both products than Italy, Germany can make 4 times as much cars as Italy. 4 times as much cars as Italy, but twice as much chemicals. The opportunity cost of producing one car is lower in Germany. But the opportunity cost of producing one car is lower than Germany. Okay, 100 units of chemicals only. Then Italy 200 units. يبقى هنا يعني هم دول عندهم opportunity cost 100 هنا عندي هيبقى opportunity cost of 100 بس. يبقى Germany's competitive advantage lies in cars, where Italy comparative advantage lies in chemicals. Germany should specialize in making cars and then trade that with Italy. Germany could export cars and import chemicals, and this will be, both of them will be having, enjoying a better living standard, or enjoying more output than if they would have produced alone. Changes in comparative advantage. هل الكونتري هتفضل عندها the same comparative advantage all the way around؟ يعني Germany هتفضل دايما is better in the production of cars؟ لا, conditions may change and thus the comparative advantage may change. يبقى conditions may change in the global market and thus in the resources of the country لأن it relies على resources of the country. The resources may change in the country. Accordingly what? Accordingly comparative advantage will change. طيب why comparative advantage will change? Maybe we will discover more resources. If we discover more resources, natural resources, then that can improve our competitive advantage. زي مثلا in Saudi Arabia, if they discover more petroleum, this can improve their competitive advantage. Or the opposite is true. A country that does not have petroleum will discover that they do have petroleum, فهنا will improve their competitive advantage. It makes its land more fertile. If land is becoming more fertile, if we're investing in land and making it more fertile, accordingly we'll have a comparative advantage in certain types of crops. If it adopts a new technology or increase in the productivity of workers, maybe the country is it's providing educational opportunities for its workers, or it's doing training for its workers, but their skills are improved in certain fields. If they are more skillful, then they are more productive. فهنا هيبقى عندهم a better comparative advantage than others that are not well trained or well educated. طيب also Also, if we are training this in education, or also if a country is investing more, investments in the country are increased, فهنا they are investing مثلا in technology, which will allow them إنه برضو productivity will increase. Productivity of capital is increasing due to the technology, and productivity of labor will increase because they are relying on capital as well in their output. فهنا comparative advantage will not stay the same. Countries that historically were specialized in a particular product, by time they may be less specialized in that product or have less comparative advantage. If we take Egypt for example, at a point in time we had a comparative advantage in the Egyptian cotton. Now not necessarily. India and China, they are doing marvelous work in that area. خلاص? The link between countries specializing in international trade, producing relatively a narrow range of products will mean that countries will have to export some of their output. You are specializing in one narrow output, and in this situation you are producing in a larger scale. You are producing one item, two items, three items, three types of products. You are specializing in few number of products, then you produce large quantities, and then you'll be able to trade that with others, to sell that, to export that, okay, in return of money that you will be using in order to import things that you are not producing. You are gaining revenue. You will be gaining revenue for spending on imports of products that your citizens want to buy from abroad, that you are not producing. It's unlikely that a country will be producing everything. There are items that they cannot produce altogether. The difference between international trade and internal trade. From the name كده, international trade is where you are selling your products abroad. Okay, internal trade is that where you're selling your products inside your home country. Internal, I am selling the product in my home country. ممكن a wider geographical area in my home country, but still it's internal. External is when I'm selling abroad. So what are the risks and the opportunities? Risk of international trade. What are the risks of international trade is that you may have to wait for payment for goods from one part of the country to individuals or firms in another part of the country. Okay? This is a risk. If you are حتى international trade, it is the same risk. International أو internal, if I am selling in different ports, يا إما internally يا إما externally, I will wait for payments from supplier, from the clients. خدوا بالكم, suppliers, when they supply on credit. I give the raw materials now to the producer, for example, and he will pay me my money later. فهنا أنا supplier of raw materials, I will have to wait for some time until the producer or the client, my business client, is giving me the money. فهنا this is a risk. طيب, product traveling greater distance. If the product is traveling greater distance, then fee transport cost that is there, and maybe the product is liable to damage. Maybe whilst transit from one area to another, it is damaged. So this is a problem. Or maybe the product will transit from one area to another, it perishes أو نفس الكلام بتاع damage. Okay, firms may have to deal with buyers, sellers speaking different languages, produce advertisement and manuals and insurance plans in different languages. That increases the cost of the business. If you check مثلا, if your smartphone manual is it written only in English or only in Arabic, or a couple of languages are there. It's a bulky document that is translated in several languages. فإن firms will have to deal to produce manuals وinsurance plans in more than one language, فهنا will increase the cost. You need to hire translators, you need to hire, you need to print more items, فهنا this will be expensive. Besides, there might be communication problems. Okay, if you are, let's imagine you are speaking English, whereas the buyer is speaking Chinese. Are you speaking English as a second language or the buyer is English as a second language؟ حتى لو احنا بنقول كده. You're speaking English as a second language and the buyer is doing it as well as a second language. So still you may not understand each other. It's not your mother tongue. Yeah, still there might be communication issues leading to mistakes and leading to waste. Okay? So this is a problem. There might be differences in cultures. So firms have to take into account the type of product they seek to sell and the method of marketing adopted. Different in cultures. For example, in Arab countries, we are not to eat pork. We are not to drink alcohol. فهنا any product, let's imagine about this is we are trying to export chocolate. And this chocolate contains fats of pork and contains alcohol. فهنا this kind of product will not sell in Arab countries. فهنا if the company is to select what products to sell abroad, to try to export abroad, you only export the product if you know that it's acceptable by the other culture. If it's not acceptable, then it will not sell. Different tastes, different culture, different yes, different taste and different culture will lead to certain products will not sell well internationally. Trade restrictions may also make it difficult for firms to sell the product abroad. Maybe the other country I am trying to export to is adding export tariffs, okay, or quotas. A tariff is a tariff, okay, is a tax on imported products. A quota is a physical limit on the quantity that can sell in another country. But the number of items can be sold in another country is limited, or the products will be more expensive abroad because there is a tax that is imposed by the other government. But this is a threat to my business. This is a risk to my business. Type. Another thing is that selling and buying in foreign markets expose firms to more competition. You are not selling only in your home country, competing with your local rivals. لا, you are competing with rivals from abroad as well. فهنا you have greater competition. Then you have to be careful, and your prices should be cheaper than the competitor, and your quality should be better, or your product is having a unique selling point, or you are advertising more. فكل دوت will increase your cost. If you're not taking these actions, you may fail in front of that foreign competitor. Exchange rate fluctuation may be a problem. If you are exporting and your currency appreciated, you are exporting and your currency appreciated, what will happen to the prices abroad? Prices of your product abroad will be what? Expensive or cheaper? You are selling your products abroad and the currency of your home country increased in value. So your products will be more expensive abroad ولا cheaper abroad يا شباب؟
More expensive?
More expensive abroad. So this is a threat for you. And the opposite is true. If you are relying على imports from another country and imports of raw materials from another country and your currency depreciated, decrease in value, then the raw materials will be more expensive. So your cost of production will be more expensive. So these are factors that may lead to your failure. Business fail. Some may respond by becoming more efficient, but others may struggle to survive. If you are faced with higher competition from other countries, okay, international competition, you may try to become efficient or you may fail and shut down. But what are the opportunities of selling abroad? And international trade enables firms to reach a wider market. You are selling to a wider market, you're not only selling your products in your home country, but also in other markets. Take greater advantage of economies of scale. You are producing on a larger scale now. You are not only fulfilling the demand of your local, domestically, your local country. You are fulfilling demand of an international market that has got wider number of consumers. So you produce on a large scale, benefit from economies of scale, which will reduce your average cost and improve your profit margins. Source their products from a wider area and earn higher profits. You may be sourcing your products, if you are selling a product or raw material, you are getting them from a wider area, which means what? Which means that you can get them cheaper, you can get them of lower cost or of better quality. if I am getting products from China to sell in Egypt, I may get them at a lower price or at a better quality. But this will allow me to become more successful. This may be a final finished product that I will sell, like I'm selling a t-shirt, or this may be fabrics that I will get to produce a t-shirt at home. يبقى ممكن يبقى عندي wider markets for my raw materials, أجيب better raw materials or cheaper raw materials, or wider market for products that I will buy for resale in my home country. So in both situations, I'll be profitable, بس هنا I will be breaking down it to the examiner into 2 points. Is that clear يا شباب? Questions?
No.
Okay, قول لي يا عمرو, can you give me an advantage of specialization and international trade? If your firm or your country is specializing in doing international trade, what is the advantage?
It boosts productivity.
It boosts productivity. Yes, we are special. طب how? Explain.
Like if a worker is specialized in something, like he knows what he's doing, he's not gonna do mistakes. Like he'll be more productive.
يبقى هيبقى yes, less mistakes, better efficiency بقى and more productivity,
Yeah.
better efficiency and lower average cost and greater revenue if you are selling this product abroad. طيب, can you give me a disadvantage يا عمر of doing international trade and specialization? If you specialize and you are selling your products abroad, are there disadvantages? يا عمر عادل.
Yes, miss.
Give me a disadvantage of producing in your home country and selling abroad.
This selling in your home country and selling abroad.
Producing in your home country, specializing in producing in home country, but marketing your product abroad. What is the disadvantage here? You concentrate on one product only and sell it abroad. Is there a disadvantage?
Yeah,
What?
that products might not be wanted that other country due to, for example, traditions or like religion, as you said.
Okay. May not be accepted in the other country. أو ممكن يكون إذا أنا specialized and I used to sell over there, then if there is a change in consumer taste, I will not be able to sell well. If there is a change,
Or an increase of country's currency value.
my currency appreciated or depreciated, or improvement in the productivity of the other country. Maybe the other country will develop productivity that exceeds ours. In this situation, we won't be able to market our products over there. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Minna, tell me an advantage for consumers of specialization. Inti, as a consumer, if businesses are specializing, are you going to benefit? You're typing? I'm just waiting for Minna's answers. If you have questions, ya shabab, I am all ears. If you don't have questions, you can leave. Minna bas will type the answer and then leave.
Okay, bye, miss.
Bye, Amr.
No, goodbye.
Bye, Amr. طب ازاي؟ ما هو better quality product is a benefit يا أستاذ. How do you say I don't think they are benefiting from specialization, but they will get better quality products? Yes, if the firms are specializing, then أنا consumer I get better quality and I will get cheaper prices. لأنه the business is benefiting from economies of scale, so it can pass that advantage to me as a lower average or lower price. صح؟ Clear يا أستاذة? If you have a question, I'm all ears. If not, then we can leave. Okay. Yalla, take care. Bye.